$500 for tulips. That's what started this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you about Karen Morrison and how I spent $2 million to destroy her. I moved into Riverside Estates 7 years ago. Quiet suburban neighborhood, 42 houses, homeowners association. I'm a software engineer, work from home, quiet guy, keep to myself. Spring of my first year, I planted tulips in my front yard. Red ones, yellow ones, beautiful. 2 weeks later, I found an envelope on my door. HOA violation notice. Unapproved landscaping. Section 7.3 of Association Bylaws requires pre-approval of all visible plantings. Fine $500. $500. I called the HOA management company. They directed me to Karen Morrison, HOA president. I knocked on her door. She's 52, real estate agent, lives 3 houses down. She opened the door, already annoyed. "Can I help you?" Hi, I'm Daniel from I Know Who You Are, the tulip violator." Right, I wasn't aware I needed approval for flowers. It's in the bylaws, section 7.3.
Okay, but several other houses have flowers. I don't see how mine are different. She smiled. Not friendly. Predatory. Those flowers were approved. Yours weren't. That's the difference. Pay the fine by Friday, or it doubles. I paid the fine. Then I submitted a landscaping approval form for roses, according to the bylaws. Approval came back, denied. Reason? Color palette not compatible with neighborhood aesthetic. I submitted again. Different roses, white, denied. Maintenance requirements, excessive. I submitted 6 more times. 6 more denials. Meanwhile, my neighbor 2 doors down planted an entire garden, approved in 3 days. Her friend, apparently. I realized what was happening. Karen didn't like me. I don't know why, we'd barely spoken, but she'd decided I was her target. That was year 1. Year 2 got worse. I painted my shutters. Previously gray, now dark blue. Violation notice. Exterior color modifications require approval. Fine, $750. I checked the bylaws. They did require approval, but 8 other houses had recently painted shutters, no violations filed. I attended an HOA board meeting, presented photos of the other houses. Karen said those got approval. I requested copies of their approval applications. Those are private homeowner documents. But I need to see what was approved so I can comply. Figure it out yourself. The board backed her up. 3 other members, all her friends. I paid the $750 fine. Then, I dug deeper. I pulled county records. Every house in Riverside Estates. Ownership history, property tax records, HOA fine history. What I found was revealing. Karen had filed 127 violations in 3 years as HOA president. 47 of them were against me. 4 other homeowners received 15+ violations each. Everyone else, maybe 1 or 2. Most had 0. She was targeting people, and I was her favorite target. Why? I still didn't know. Year 3, she filed violations for my car parked in my own driveway overnight, unapproved vehicle visible from street, my garbage bins visible at 7:01 a.m. on collection day, Must be placed after 7 a.m. My porch light being too bright. Light pollution violation. My mailbox being weathered. Insufficient maintenance. Each violation $500 to $1,000. I was paying $3,000 to $4,000 monthly in HOA fines for things like my car in my driveway. I talked to other targeted homeowners. All had something in common. We weren't part of Karen's social circle. We didn't attend her book club, didn't socialize with her friends, kept to ourselves. She was using the HOA as a weapon. I could have sued. Selective enforcement, harassment. But litigation is slow, expensive, uncertain. And even if I won, Karen would still be HOA president. She'd just find new ways to target me. That's when I noticed something interesting.
2 houses went up for sale, then 3 more. People were leaving. "Can't stand the HOA anymore," one neighbor told me. "Karen makes living here miserable." That gave me an idea. A crazy, expensive, perfect idea. I looked up HOA dissolution laws in our state. To dissolve a homeowners association requires 80% of property owners to vote for dissolution. Riverside Estates has 42 houses. 80% of 42 is 34 houses. I owned 1 house. I'd need 33 more. And I'd calculated something else. If the HOA dissolved, property values would likely increase. No more arbitrary fines. No more Karen. No more restrictions. People would want to move here. So I'd buy properties, dissolve the HOA, then values would increase. I'd make money back on property appreciation. It wasn't revenge, it was a hostile takeover. I started small. 2 houses were for sale, both owners fleeing Karen's tyranny. I bought them both. Paid market value. Quick closings, cash. Now I owned 3 houses. I needed 31 more. I waited. 3 months later, another house went up for sale. I bought it. Karen noticed. "Why are you buying property here?" she asked. "Investment," I said. "You can't rent them out. HOA bylaws prohibit rentals." "I know. I'm just holding them." She didn't like that answer, but she couldn't stop me.
Over the next 2 years, I bought every house that came up for sale. 18 houses total. Not at once, gradually, opportunistically. I paid fair market value, never lowballed, wanted quick, friendly transactions. Some owners were desperate to escape the HOA. They accepted immediately. Others needed convincing. I'd explain, "I'm planning to dissolve the HOA. If you sell to me, you help make that happen." Most were interested. Karen tried to stop me. She filed emergency board meetings, proposed bylaw amendments to restrict property ownership concentration. But bylaw amendments required majority owner approval. I owned 18 houses now, plus 7 other homeowners who hated Karen and wanted the HOA gone. That's 25 votes, majority. Her amendment failed. She filed complaints with the county. "He's manipulating the HOA." County investigated, found nothing illegal. She tried to fine me for owning multiple properties. Violation of community standards. My lawyer shut that down immediately. She was panicking. She could see what I was doing, but she couldn't stop it. By year 5, I owned 29 houses. I needed 34 for dissolution, 5 more. But the remaining 13 owners weren't selling. Some loved the neighborhood, some were Karen's friends, some just didn't want to move. I was stuck. $2.1 million invested in properties, close to my goal, but not there yet. Then, something changed.
Karen's behavior got worse.
She knew I was close to dissolution. She became more aggressive, more violations, higher fines. She started targeting her own friends. Parking violations, paint violations, noise violations. She was trying to maintain control through fear. It backfired. 3 of her friends got fed up, put their houses on sale. I bought all 3. 32 houses. 2 more needed. Another 6 months passed. 1 more house came up for sale. Retiring couple, moving to Florida. I bought it immediately. 33 houses. 1 more. The remaining 9 owners weren't budging. I'd need a different approach. I scheduled a community meeting, invited all homeowners, presented my proposal. I own 33 properties. I need 1 more person to vote for HOA dissolution. If anyone wants to sell to me, I'll pay 10% above market value. Or, if you want to keep your house, just vote for dissolution. Once it passes, the HOA is gone forever. Karen stood up. This is extortion! It's not extortion. It's democracy. If 80% of owners want to dissolve, we can. That's the law. You're manipulating the system! I'm using the system exactly as designed. She looked around the room, looking for support. Nobody backed her up. Even her friends were tired of her. One homeowner raised his hand. I'll vote for dissolution. Just like that. 34 votes. 80%. I'd won.
We scheduled the official dissolution vote, required by state law. Proper notice, official ballot. Karen tried everything to stop it, filed complaints with the state attorney general, hired lawyers to challenge the vote's legality, claimed I'd coerced homeowners. All dismissed. The vote happened on a Tuesday evening. 34 property owners voted. 34 voted for dissolution. Unanimous. Even some of Karen's friends voted to end it. The HOA was officially dissolved. Karen sat in the meeting room, silent, defeated. Her kingdom was gone. After the vote, she approached me. She said, "You destroyed this community." I said, "No, you did. I just ended it." She moved out 3 months later. Couldn't stand living in a neighborhood where she had no power. Now, the aftermath. I own 33 properties, $2.1 million invested over 5 years. After the HOA dissolved, property values increased 15 to 20%. No more arbitrary rules, no more fines, no more Karen. People wanted to move in. I sold 25 properties over the next 2 years, made back $2.8 million, $700,000 profit. Plus, I eliminated $4,000 monthly in harassment fines. Was it worth it? Absolutely. But it wasn't about the money. It was about watching Karen realize she'd been outplayed, that she'd picked a fight with someone who had the patience to execute a 5-year plan, the resources to buy 33 houses, the knowledge to use the system against her.
She thought she had power. She didn't. She had a title in an association that could be dissolved, and I dissolved it. The neighborhood is better now. No HOA, no arbitrary rules, no power-hungry president. People plant whatever flowers they want, paint their shutters any color, park in their own driveways without fear. A few of the original targeted homeowners still live there. They thank me regularly. "You freed us," one said. I didn't do it for them. I did it because Karen made a mistake. She thought she could bully me into submission. Instead, she inspired me to destroy her kingdom. So here's my question for you. Have you dealt with a tyrannical HOA? Would you spend millions for revenge? Where's the line between justice and obsession? Because I crossed it, and I'd do it again. Leave a comment. Share your HOA horror stories. If you're dealing with a power-hungry board member, know this: they're only powerful as long as the system exists. Change the system, you change everything. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, share it. Stay strategic, think long-term, and remember that sometimes the best revenge is buying the battlefield. Because that's what I did. I bought 33 houses, dissolved the HOA, and ended Karen's reign forever. Worth every penny.